Is this on? Are you awake?
Three, two, one.
Get ready, set, go.
That cat is causing a horrendous noise. Sounds like an
Is that what
episode.
that noise is?
Yes.
Sounds like an episode of Tiger King in here.
Joe Exotic.
Phil Exotic.
We've got everything, including the very feminine redneck that runs around in a cowboy hat.
Oh, man.
Gee whiz. Well, we might as well. There's not much sense in fooling around, I guess, huh?
Nope, let's go.
Might as well jump into bed with her socks on.
Yeah, we might as well. That's always my policy. I've had people. I'm trying to think how many people it has been, but there have been those that have told me that kind of getting straight to it is their preferred plan of action. That's how
Well, this one's for them then.
This one's for them.
Let's go.
Alrighty, let's do it.
Ken, we've not hit on a preacher in a while. Let me rephrase that. I've never hit on a preacher, but we've not.
Hey, dude, that's awesome. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've seen you up here at Clinton Camp a few times.
Ooh.
The main reason I haven't done it is I'm afraid what they would do in return.
They'd pounce on you like wet on rice, man.
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh,
Give me that
dude, they'd be
cowboy
all
hat.
up in your grill. Oh, dude, running their fingers through your beard and whatnot. You know?
Ew. It depends on is the preacher a man or a woman, though.
Well, there is very few women preachers in the
Exactly. So
CHM.
I mean, you could be
There
hating
is,
on a
man,
woman.
but I would let whatever she wanted to me.
You said it.
You
You said it.
I know you'll probably have to edit that one out, but I couldn't resist.
We were all thinking it, okay? Just so we're clear, we were all thinking it.
Oh, gee whiz.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'll try to behave.
We've not played a clip of a preacher in a while. Actually, can't remember the last time we have done it. But I've been getting things lined up. We're heading back on the old trail.
Yeah, blaze it again because things have kind of grown up.
Oh, yeah.
Weeds.
And to be quite honest,
Yep.
some of these guys have been in rare form lately.
Yeah, it's like they know we stopped for a little bit and just decided to add gas to their fires. But little do they know that we're jumping back in as well.
It really does feel like that, though, doesn't it? Like it was kind of quiet there for a while. Like you didn't really hear much. We really kind of ran out of stuff to talk about, and there's just not as much bashing to be had. But hey, let the bashing begin.
Let the bashing begin.
Let the bashing begin.
And now we kind of have a little network of people too that will also clue me in. I'll get emails or whatever, like,
Yep.
"Hey, did you hear this? Did you hear that?"
Different people sending us stuff.
But of
Which
course,
we appreciate, though. I'm so glad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, keep them coming.
Keep them coming.
We're very glad.
On
for
camp
that.
meeting season 2 is.
Yep.
I've noticed something about preachers, specifically CHM preachers. Most of the time, they'll behave themselves at their own church.
Right.
But you let them go out on the road, and next thing you know, they're preaching on everything under the sun. What we'll get to here in a minute, literally Redbox vending machines.
My favorite though is his wife like going to the gym and working out besides sweaty men.
Yes,
That
we'll
one
talk
was
about that in a
worse.
second
That
as
one,
well.
yeah, but anyways,
Yes.
Man, they have to perform.
Yes.
It's like a WWE tour coming to Charleston. It's like they gotta put on a show. They gotta perform. He's coming to Indianapolis or wherever. And he has to. They just got to give it their all.
I don't know what it is if they have to feel like they have to preach certain things that they know will be accepted at that church. So then they're like going to be asked to come back again. Because certain people will preach certain things because they know it's like more accepted in that group, even though they don't believe it themselves. Like there
a
was
lot of times,
there was a preacher that was preaching against Facebook, and he had it.
I remember that.
So
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Holy crap, man!
And two, some of these preachers will almost have a set list.
Oh yeah.
I think it was last year.
Oh yeah.
I happened to virtually visit several different camp meetings.
Right.
And this one specific preacher seemed to be the hot ticket that year.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew, like, when he would start off a certain sermon, I knew what he was going to preach.
Mm-hmm.
You knew the points he was going to make. It was even down to, you knew when he was going to start getting righteously indignant.
Yeah. He'd practiced it enough
Yeah.
that he could just be like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know.
It was like me sitting there watching Keith Urban and like, oh, he's about to do that solo on Long Hot Summer.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was the
that's
same
pitiful.
thing as,
True.
hey, this preacher's about to get mad and he's about to get all up in arms and he's about to use examples from the audience every
Right.
time.
Yep.
He would know people's names. He's like, don't tell that to so-and-so. Don't tell them to that one there. And he would have different people's names picked out. And it was like, I seen it like 3 different places. And it was
Yeah.
like, it's like, dude, you've got your set list down. I'm not saying there's necessarily anything wrong with that. I'm just, it's kind of funny to me.
It is kind of funny. But, they got to make their money. You know what I'm saying? You got to go to their churches. They got to.
Well,
Gotta
that's the thing.
keep them
Showbiz is
paychecks
tough.
rolling.
With these preachers, though, they go to
Exactly,
different.
man.
They go to different churches that have different audiences, and then they go to different organizations or denominations, whatever you want to call it. So you're able to preach the same vomit in all these different places because they have different crowds.
In a lot of cases, vomit is being very, very nice.
Oh, yes. Vomit
More
is
like-
the nicest word.
yes, more like that, kid.
Let's just give you a hot steaming loaf right here.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to this one here. Let me start with, which one do we want to start with?
Ha, I don't know.
We got so many options here. Let's start with the Redbox one.
All right.
And this was preached at God's Missionary, at the God's Missionary Church Camp at Penns Creek, Pennsylvania, just actually a
I
few
love
days
how
ago.
You're just saying the names of this stuff, just like, let's go.
They said it in public. Why should I try to
know.
cover their ear?
It's true.
Why should I try
Yeah,
to
I
cover
know.
their rear end when they showed
It
it to
is
everybody?
true.
Yeah, exactly right.
You still haven't played that Loper clip.
I have got it right. You're looking at my screen,
I
ain't
am,
you?
and I'm really excited for the day that happens.
The thing is, if I played that clip, it would probably be the dirtiest thing ever said on this podcast.
Yes, I know.
Oh.
I know. If you
I'm
would like to
exaggerating a
hear
bit,
this
folks.
clip, please let us know. No.
I'm sure it'll get there at some point.
Yeah, we'll get to that point.
We actually ought to talk about that because I actually remember when that all went down, and we actually had a discussion about that in Sunday school at our church when that first went down. It was pretty
Ooh.
crazy.
Should I play it?
Yes. Do it.
Well,
Do it.
I
We're
don't-
talking about preachers here.
Dude, you're opening a can of worms, man. We'll go down a rabbit trail. we won't even get to Brian Spangler.
Yes, we
That's
better
true.
hold off on that one for
Okay,
another
we'll do it for
episode.
another one. I need to be there. Don't you dare play that one without me there.
Here's our clip on red boxes.
All right.
If I were to say their name, you'd know them very well, too. Somebody that I knew not too very far away from this campus. And I watched them park their car. They got out of their car and went over to a little machine, like a Coke machine. A little red machine, a little Coke machine. Except it wasn't a Coke machine. It was outside a little convenience store. They walked up to that, outside of a drugstore, rather. They walked up to that thing and did whatever they had to do and pushed their money and carried away what they got. I thought, what in the world is that? I know I'm odd. I don't have a clue what's going on. But I walked up to that.
Stop. That right there needs to be said for all CHM preachers because they've put their head in the sand.
Well,
they
I mean, that's a little
literally
over.
don't know what's going on.
Well,
I've heard it from different people. They literally, the CHM people are still talking about their stupid bobby socks. There's still their old timey things. They're not updated to the times. Literally, they have no idea what's going on. That's a very good statement.
Kanan, something that jumped out to me about this. Have you noticed how some people, and this isn't just preachers at all, but there are some people that, for some reason, they take pride in acting like they don't know what's going on in society?
Yes, yeah. That stood out to me. Also, what stood out to me is it's like he was telling trying to tell a story out of something that was like there was no story to be had. Like literally, like you could have literally just summed that up with, yeah, man, I literally seen these people jump out of their car, they ran over there, they whatever, hit the button, whatever. But I'll tell you what, they weren't too far from this camp.
Reminds me of
you
every
probably know
podcast
if
we've
I
ever
said-
done.
it's like, come on, like really, like Oh my gosh! How can you really make a great illustration out of that? That's a short story, dude, not a book.
He was trying to diss somebody and be like, you know who you are. If I said your
He-
name,
very much
you
so.
know that
Very,
this person.
very much
He was
so.
really trying to shame
Yeah.
somebody.
Well,
He was.
we'll get to that in a second. But I noticed that there are certain people that they'll act like they don't know what Facebook is, and they'll be like
I know I'm odd.
on the book face or the faces space or whatever. It's like, dude, you know exactly what
The
it is.
faces
Stop
of
it.
books. And I'm just like,
Oh, yeah.
what
Oh,
in
yeah.
the world are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. It's like if you're that dumb, people really shouldn't listen to you at all. You know what I'm saying? Like really, like
We prefer.
no, you're right. You're right. I know I'm odd. Like, oh no, dude, you're just a dumbass.
We prefer our preachers to be knowledgeable and informed.
Yes, exactly right. Exactly right.
Anyways, go ahead.
All right, we'll continue on.
Yeah.
Gene, I thought those are the funniest looking Coke bottles. There were little buttons, pictures on there of movies. Movies. It was a movie vending machine. Yes, sir. Would somebody please text Tony and tell him to get me a sandwich ready?
Okay, pause.
Should I explain that?
Yes, you have to explain that. But first, let me say this, though. I love how he's explaining something that he has literally no idea about, according to him.
Well, according to the story, he supposedly finds out about it. Just as
Okay. But he's explaining it to a bunch of people who definitely know what he's talking about.
Everybody in that audience knows exactly what he's
Yes.
referring to.
Everybody
yeah,
knows what a
100%.
red box
100%.
is.
Yes.
As it turns out, it was a motion picture dispensing device.
Oh my gosh.
He acts like it's porn in there, man.
Hey, speaking of,
That's it.
I'm surprised they don't have a porn dispensary, whatever, red box dispensary.
That's not a bad idea. I call it copyright. I call it.
You know what?
Okay, let me explain the comment about making a sandwich. So
Yes.
earlier in and this is just for everybody's to keep it in context. Earlier in the sermon, he had said that he may get in trouble for what he's preaching, so he may just have to go get him a chicken sandwich I'm guessing that they're at the cafeteria. So that's what that was about, just so people don't.
So Tony's the name of the person making the food up there.
I would assume. All right, I'll continue on.
That's not the bad part. The bad part is I just quickly looked at what's there. Now, I'll just tell you this much. That bothered me so much, I've never got close to one of those things again.
Sorry.
Oh, no.
Oh, dude, that's great. That's
Listen.
great.
Okay, what type of bothered is he talking about here?
Let me just, a lot of people will, because we get flack for this a lot, that we're just mocking and poking fun. Not the case. That was legitimately funny, what the guy just said. That's one of the, you have to laugh at that.
Yeah.
I never went up to look to see what you could get out of there. I just think, when I see the thing, I ignore it and walk right on by. I call that carefulness. I'm amazed at the movie craze that's coming on us. I'm shocked. I'm stunned. I feel like a fish out of water. Talking about carefulness. I never went back to the public swimming pool after I got saved. I never went back. I loved to swim. I went all the way through to be a lifeguard. I might need to save myself tonight. I don't know.
Right there. Right there. He's jabbing at the people right there.
It's amen fishing.
Yes, he really is.
Yes. That's
It's more like,
pretty much where to cut it off with that
Give me
clip.
the glory. Give me the praise.
Well, that's not that. They're seeking for agreement.
Affirmation, yeah.
Kanan, your thoughts?
Oh man, I mean, we've been kind of talking about this all the way through. I mean, this is the guy's nuts. I've never actually heard him preach. What organization is he with exactly?
God's Missionary. And again, I don't know if I said the name. This is Brian Spangler.
I mean, dude. I mean, what do you say, really? I mean,
Something that jumped out to me
Mm-hmm.
was he supposedly, based off this story, was able to judge what that guy got out of the red box.
Yes. Yes.
By just going and seeing what was being offered at the red box.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Yeah.
I'm guessing more because I've talked to a friend about this as well. CHM people and us have different definitions of things. When they say something was horrendously bad, they might be talking about
Short sleeves.
their skirt didn't reach the floor. You know what I mean? And to me, it's like, okay, well, obviously that's not my definition of terrible.
Right.
But
no.
I mean, we could all agree that there's more than likely stuff that goes in Redbox that Christians probably shouldn't look at,
Sure.
probably shouldn't watch. How in the world does that? Well, let me say it this way: we know that there's family sections in there.
Yes.
A lot of times there's a faith-based section in there.
Yes.
It's all that. But somehow he was able to come to a conclusion about what this guy got
Mm-hmm.
from the Redbox just by looking at a little bit of what Redbox had to offer.
Yeah.
To me, that's like saying there's a lot of stuff in Walmart that can do a man harm and not be good for his spiritual condition.
Sure.
That's like saying I saw Canaan walk out of Walmart and was like, do you know what they carry in Walmart?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then judge Canaan for being in Walmart because they offer something that might,
Exactly.
hurt
Well,
an
and
individual.
I think everybody knows this, but Redbox, just the pictures, there's way more in that box than what the pictures display. I think the pictures that's on the front of that's like probably not even really maybe a quarter. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, because that's what they're featuring. That's what the hot item is. That's their marketing.
yeah, exactly. So, man, that dude right there could have picked up, Dora the Explorer, for his kids,
Right.
Like,
And I think what we're seeing too with his comment about the supposed movie craze that's striking the CHM, we're seeing some of the old guard way of thinking in the CHM trying to reconcile or keep its footing against some of the newer, younger generation that have accepted streaming services and stuff like that.
yes.
There is zero Bible to condemn movies, but these guys still want to hold on to somehow condemning movies. So there's that.
Yeah. Like, what would be the verse that they would use to back it up? Like, talk about, like, be careful what your eyes, look upon, and your ears, hear. I mean, is that really about the only thing that really they have?
I know that they use the verse, I think, out of Job, and it says something like, I made a covenant with my eyes not to look lustfully or something on a woman. Okay, good. Very good. Very, very good principle to live by. And then I think, if I'm not mistaken, I've heard them talk about, use where Paul said, whatsoever things are of good report, whatsoever things are, and he goes through all these good things to think on that. Okay, that's fine. You can do all of that and watch movies. That's just, it's plain and simple. There is there's no logical way, in my opinion, to condemn movies.
No, there's not.
And especially now, honestly, they look crazier now, the CHM does, by accepting internet the way they have and still condemning like TV and movies.
Yeah.
It's like saying, I'm opposed to handguns, but I will take that nuclear bomb right over there if you got one.
Oh, man. I think, too, like, his whole attitude of just, like, what struck me was, like, how he was basically, like, judging them people.
Oh, yeah.
Like, first starting off with, like, you're not too far. Wasn't too far from this camp. It's just down. What do you say? It was just down the road or something like that. You would know these people. Like, why do we need to know these people?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this whole, like, I don't know. Just, they're almost, in a way, trying to call them out, without calling them out.
Think about this. The story starts off, if I came up to, now just think about it this way. If I came up to you and I said, Kanan, there's somebody that doesn't live too far away from here. Actually, you would know who they are if I said their name. And start building the suspense, and you'd be like, oh my Lord, who is it? What'd they do? I'd be like, do you know I saw them walk up to our Redbox the other day?
Dude, I would look at you and be like, what? Man, dude.
Yes.
That was one thing that really, and then his whole, like, I don't know, his whole, I'm going to get myself in trouble. Like, he's like this bad boy or something.
Yes. A lot of them will say, I'm about to say something that some of you might not agree with. And it's like, you're in the CHM. They're going to agree with it.
Yeah, 90% of your people in there tonight are going to agree with you.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Clip number 2.
So I don't sign up for community fitness facilities.
Neither do I, but that's beside the point.
I don't sign up for that stuff. I told my boys the other day, because we used to horse around. We used to have a place in the parsonage where we could lift weights and carry on, us guys down. That's fun. That's rewarding. But I don't get to go to those places anymore. And I said to the boys, well, I'd love it if we could go to the gym and work out. That'd be so much fun. But we're not going to the gym to work out. Kev said, Dad, you don't want to go to the gym. And he didn't either. Praise the Lord. Oh, God bless you, folks. You look like something happened tonight. I don't know.
Stop it right there. Shaming your audience? Bravo. He gets A+. A++. Like guilting them completely because they're not giving him the AMs, the amens that he wants and all the, yes, praise the Lord. That's right.
Well, that's because he's stepping on some toes.
Yeah. He's like, you poor people, you look like something happened to you. I can't imagine.
Something did happen.
I can't
Somebody
imagine
said the dumbest thing I ever heard from the front of the church tonight.
And we're astounded. And we were astounded.
So my thing is that his boy he's talking about? Is that what he said?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that sucks that him and his boy won't be actually able to spend quality time because neither one of them can keep their pervy eyes to one another.
He's just stated right then and there he has no self-control.
Let's continue. We'll get a little more glimpse into maybe his thought process.
I can't imagine it. I just can't imagine why you'd even want to go there, fellas. I mean, you're on this treadmill and she's on that treadmill and you don't know who she is and she's not related to you and she's dressed like she shouldn't be dressed to be around you and you're dressed like you shouldn't be dressed to be around her. That's right.
Okay. He's coming to the assumption that all these boys that are in the CHM are going to want to go to the gym dressed inappropriately. He's already jumped to that conclusion.
My assumption, and I'm stealing a little bit from somebody that made a comment, I bet the old boy has watched TikTok and seen some of those gym videos.
Yeah. That's actually a really good point. That's a really good point. Okay, so he's right. Like the girls dressed at the gym, they aren't dressed good. Like I mean, I go to Planet Fitness here in Muncie. Like it's not good, but like you just go in and keep your eyes on yourself. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is like in the day and age, and this is the way I look at it. In today's age, like if you look at a girl sometimes sideways, like they'll try to hit you for sexual harassment. It's actually happened at our gym, and so now like it honestly like would just freak me out. So like. You just go in there and be really careful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, So sometimes they aren't always. But my gosh, you talked about Walmart earlier. Some things that can get you in trouble. Are you not going to stand in the checkout line because there's some magazines with some girls that's not dressed?
Sure.
Jennifer Aniston's on the front page. And everybody just has no self-control.
Exactly. And then my thing is like walking down the street. You know what I'm saying? Like there's girls that are, in mini shorts, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Like, they're on the street. You're going to see them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Honestly, more distracted being on the treadmill than I would be just walking down the street.
Exactly right.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly right.
So this guy's nuts.
I'll continue the clip here.
Go ahead.
We don't even blush anymore. We don't even think anything about it anymore. We just think it's common. It's not common. It's abnormal.
What is common?
He's talking about the way that people dress, and it is common.
Yeah.
We have a style nowadays, whether you like it or not, whether you disagree with it or not, it is common. That's
it is.
If you go to the gym or if you go out in just daily life, you're going to see somebody in a pair of shorts.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
More than likely in the summertime, you're going to see some nice looking women and some very short shorts.
Yeah.
That's just the way it is.
Yep.
It's going to happen.
Yes.
Whether you're in the gym or you're on the street.
Exactly right.
And I don't know about you, but when it comes to this, we're not blushing anymore. Speak for yourself. I blush very easy. So,
well, I think what he's getting at, and I
sense of like modesty and decency,
Well,
and stuff like that.
In other words, that we don't clutch our pearls every time that we see someone in a miniskirt. You know, like, oh my gosh, what is she wearing? Well, quite frankly, I'm glad I don't have that reaction anymore.
Yeah.
It's easier to go about life.
Yes.
When you know a good-looking woman doesn't ruin your entire day because you have to head directly to the prayer closet and
I need prayer.
I need prayer.
and just just beg for forgiveness that you happen to catch a glimpse.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
That right there just proves that they cannot handle, like, they have no self-control when it comes to certain things. Because I can see a good-looking person, but it doesn't mean like you're going around just like thinking about them all day long. And like you need to practice self-control, and you need to like move on to other things. Don't be dwelling on that. They are intentionally dwelling on that.
Well, I think they show themselves so much that when they do see it, then they are like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
I can't believe this."
exactly.
Yes.
They hang out with one another. They go to church with one another. They go to camp meetings for fun, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't do nothing. And so then when
You're exactly right. And one of the fruits of the Spirit is self-control.
mhm.
However, the CHM does not really even recommend self-control.
Mm-mm.
Their idea is to take this approach: completely stay away from anything that might ever possibly lead into something that could become temptation.
Right.
Yes.
So therefore, your self-control muscle is atrophied. It's
Yes.
shrunken. It's not developed,
Yes.
and you don't know how to exercise self-control.
Yeah.
There's such a thing as you just go out in the world and you go about your normal business and you act like a human being.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
But these people, a lot of these people in the CHM are not used to that. They've never had to. They're told to flee from from anything that might cause them temptation. And then therefore it's like,
Well, not only themselves, but they want to control. The idea is not self-control. It is the control of other people and their clothing and how they respond to things. It's never like, not once did he say anything about, guys, turn your heads away. Like, look down. Like, there was no practicing or no instruction on practicing self-control at all in this message.
Kanan, I think if I had to pick, men have the least amount of self-control in the CHM because all of the responsibility is put upon the women to keep the men from feeling the slightest bit of sexual attraction. Would you agree with that?
It is. Oh, 100%, dude. I'm thinking of a guy right now I spoke to not that long ago that was basically like trying to say that to me, and I kind of like took it down like no. I said if a girl comes walking out there naked, I was like that's whatever, but like yeah, that's not cool on her part. And is that sin? Yeah, it's probably not right for her to do. But as for me, I need to be able to turn around and walk away
Mm-hmm.
and not stand there and look like a creep.
You're
Absolutely.
gawking at her. That requires self-control. Right.
Exactly. Exactly right. And like, well, well, they really need to, they just need to dress better. And it was like, you know what? It's America. They have the right to wear whatever they want.
Exactly right.
So,
Right.
So yeah, no, 100%. And that guy's not the only one. There's several people I know that's like that. My grandmother, if you talk to the older generation in the CHM, my grandmother's like that. All these women, they're asking for it. It's like, wait a minute, I don't think they are, Grandma. I've tried.
Yeah.
They never asked me.
For it. Yes. So that's another thing too, because I was just talking to a friend of mine, ex-BMC, and they were talking about how they went to a church camp, and we're talking recent ones, and they are now requiring all their women to wear T-shirts under their high-collared shirts. High-collared. We're talking high-collared.
Are you serious?
Yes. Oh, you just knocked over your
ladies, if anybody attends this camp, please run for your life. Those people are crazy.
Yeah. Well, and
I'm gonna burn up.
They're also required. Like my mom went to like one of the BMC church camps around here, and the women, like she's noticed, she said just about all the women had their dresses to the floor. She said there was not one who wore like a mid-length skirt at all. And she said my mom said she went back to the cabin room and she talked to my dad and was like, Are these men so out of control that our women literally have to wear the biggest size clothing ever, maxi dresses too, like stuff that does not even, like it was so big on these women. They look frumpy. And that was
Sure.
the exact
Yeah, they
same
do.
words that
They
someone
do.
else used. And I know she listens to the podcast, and I'm using her story. But she was talking just about how terrible it was at the Bible Missionary Church camp, where these women are literally wearing potato sack dresses just because
my.
they are trying to hide anything of their body being feminine at all. Like, to the point, these women are actually wearing sports bras that smash the boobs till they look like they are bound and there's not any curve
Holy
to them
cow.
at all. There
That's
is
crazy.
something wrong with the CHM when
Yes.
it comes to women and their clothing. But not once
100%.
do we have these men being responsible for their stuff at all.
Exactly right.
Not at all.
And in
it's
fact-
always these women need to control themselves. These women need to cover themselves. No, how about we raise our boys to be in control of themselves?
Yeah, 100%. Well, it's not fair at all when they make a woman dress like that, but then the guy literally can kind of blend in with about anything. A pair of blue jeans and a long sleeve shirt, or a pair of dress pants and a nice, like a nice long sleeve shirt. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
he can blend
Exactly
in with
right.
anybody.
Right.
Cannon, I'm actually sitting here right now and I'm looking at this video. You can't see it, but Miss, you can see the preacher that was preaching
Yes.
the clip that we've been playing.
Mhm.
Would he look out of place on the cover of USA Today walking down the steps of like Capitol Hill?
No,
No. He blends right in.
he does.
And in fact,
In fact, the
I mean,
CHM
when they talk
people-
about coming out from the world,
yes,
CHM preachers blend in with some of the most
worst
evil
people.
people in our society.
The people
Lawyers,
that you do not trust.
bankers,
Yes.
Yeah.
car salesmen, just what?
Politics, politicians,
Yeah.
lawyers, people that are dressing up in
Yeah.
administration attire, the ones that you should not be trusting, the CHM
Exactly
preachers
right.
look exactly like that.
Yep. So
They got
until
their
they
armor
stand,
on.
until they change that whole thing, I never want to hear them again say, "Come out from among them and be ye separate." It's like, you first, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you're looking like the worst, awful pervs in society. So,
And you are a perv when you will literally say like, she's asking for it. Like,
Oh,
oh,
yeah.
my God.
no.
Just
Yeah.
like,
no.
do you know how wrong that even sounds?
Yes,
Like,
that's
Yes.
terrible. These men. So what they need to come to terms with, and it took me a while to figure this all out. You will never get away from sexual attraction.
No.
You just won't.
No.
It's going to be there. It's put there for a reason.
Right,
So you're going to appreciate beauty when you see it.
right.
That's not lust, my man.
Yeah.
These guys think it is. I'm quite certain that they think it is.
I believe it.
And they run from that.
Mhm.
Therefore, they make their women dress in pretty much Klan
Yeah.
uniforms without the hood.
But we see how good that works with these other countries that like cover their women up completely.
Well, there's an exhibit out there. I probably should find it and post it at some point. It's called, it was some kind of a project called What Was She Wearing?
Oh,
And it's got
no.
all these little kids, these minors, all their Amish dresses hanging that have been
Mhm.
molested. Well, what were they wearing?
Yeah.
They were as modest as could be.
Yes.
And you know what?
Oh, yeah.
It
Yes.
wasn't modest enough for the dudes.
Nope. Because
Yep.
like you can have, and I say this, and we're going to talk about abuse here for a quick second. Like you can even have babies, and people are sexually attracted to babies.
Yes.
This goes to not what they were wearing. This goes to the heart of the issue, which is the
Mhm.
person, the abuser.
Yes. So they need to realize that you're always going to have attraction. That's not wrong. Let's put there. Lust is what's wrong. That's when you sit there and you're what's going on, girl?
Right.
You start heading that direction. Okay, now you're getting into very murky waters.
Right.
But we were made male and female, and you can't change that, and you can't cover it up. And so just learn to deal with it, boys. Unfortunately,
Mm.
it's that certain temptation is the cross we got to bear. So you might as well buck it up and enjoy it. Well, enjoy it maybe is the wrong term.
Yeah, I don't think enjoy is the
Don't
word.
enjoy it too much.
But, at
Wait a
least
minute.
control yourself. Be responsible for your actions.
By the way, I just realized I completely stumbled all over the word buckle.
I'm too focused on something else.
All right, let me
Man,
let me play the rest of this. This is the shortest clip that has taken us the longest time to get through that I think I've ever seen.
I watched a volleyball team. That's what they were. They were volleyball teams coming out of the building, out of the Miller Center when I was there to see my doctor in the end, where the doctor's office was. That's no place I'd want to go play volleyball nor basketball. Fellas, how would you feel? How would you feel if your wife, living like she does, dressing like she does, in a long dress and modest, how would you feel if she went out and played basketball with the guys on the basketball court while they're dressed in their shorts and their tank top and sweating, and it was all guys out there playing? You'd have your wife out there? Not if you have any sense, you wouldn't.
Oh, Lord.
It's a different day we live in. So much immodesty on display in our world. I think it'd be good for us to be careful once in a while. Christians, believers, exercise a little carefulness once in a while. And I don't think I'm radical either. People think I'm losing my mind.
Hey, man, brother.
Man.
Hey, can we stop it just for a second?
Yeah.
It sounds like to me, it really sounds like to me that what he really wants to say is about the whole women playing basketball and stuff is women don't need to be out on the basketball court. They need to be off in the kitchen making me dinner.
Make me a sandwich.
Make me a sandwich today. I'm hungry. A woman's place is not on the basketball court with the men. It's in the kitchen. It's like this, that's what it sounds like that dude wants to say, but he just is like, I can't get on that road.
Yeah, he probably knew. He's like, I know the Hillbilly broadcast is watching, so I'm not going to quite go that far.
Yes, I'll teeter with it.
Let me break that down for just a minute. So he's saying that, and literally said, if you have any sense at all, you wouldn't want your wife playing basketball with men on the court. I guess with all men. I'll be generous. I'll give him that.
Right.
Kanan, basketball shorts are by far the modest shorts ever known to man. They
100%.
usually always come down below your knee. I mean, we're not talking about the 70s here when it looked like you was in a two-piece bikini. You know, some of these guys running.
Yes.
Because the basketball shorts back in the day, though, they were very, very short for men.
Oh, they were short and they was tight.
Like we're talking about someone needs to put the eggs back in the basket.
Yes.
We're talking
that kind of scenario.
those type of eggs.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
So those shorts were very, very short.
Basketball clothes are baggy. The shorts are long, and so you got a cut off shirt? Okay. Does your wife have a very very bad fetish with men's elbows and shoulders?
Yeah.
I don't get the issue here.
No, because it shows off their chest. Like the shirts are so baggy that they can actually see their chest whenever they're bouncing the ball.
Here's the thing, though. We're trying to give common sense into something that there is no common sense being used. So we're kind of chasing our tail, I think.
No, you're 100% right. And plus, I mean, let's be real. We're having a hard time saying new stuff for stupidity that we know that they're always going to have. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like this is nothing new. This is nothing new. It's a new video. It's a new, but it's the same old crap.
It's the same ideas, the same stupid mentality that is saying the same stuff. And so our response is going to be the same because they're never going to change. In their minds, unless these women are out on the basketball field, or basketball, court, with their skirts pinned, literally. I was talking to someone and they said that they had to have their skirts pinned so they wouldn't come flying up.
So
can you imagine
almost
playing?
like a pair of pants, one would say.
Yeah.
But you hit the nail on the head, though, man. We're trying to give common sense to something that just doesn't.
Yes, the CHM is starving for logic.
Yes.
Yes, they are.
Well,
man,
I think we went a while.
We've bashed this enough.
This clip, these two clips together were about 5 minutes, and it took us almost an hour to get through them. That's got to be a record of some sort.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Had a lot. Yeah.
If you're listening to this and you have a preacher that says these kind of things, start trying to pin them down on why.
Yes.
Why do you preach this?
Oh, good luck with that.
He's not going to be able to give you exactly right. He's not going to be able to give you answers in the Bible because what this guy just preached in both these clips, it ain't in the Bible, guys. It is not there.
Not one scripture verse was given for any of that.
None.
And
It
one
ain't
thing,
there.
one thing is very, very clear though. There is the hypersexualization
Yes.
Oh yeah.
hypersexualization of women in the CHM,
And of everything.
of everything.
They-
You're
the-
right.
the
You're
CHM
right.
This is something I've thought about lately. The CHM makes everything sex
Yes.
and then tells you that you are a despicable individual for ever thinking about sex. Somebody else made a comparison. It's like saying, hey, don't think about a pink elephant wearing a cowboy hat. Well, what's the first thing you're going to do? So they're all the time up there like, don't you think about sex?
Yeah.
By the way, everything is sex, so don't think about anything at all.
Oh, dude.
But yeah, there's no Bible here, and so what they will tell you when you do ask them, where's the scripture verse for this? They're going to say, well, you shouldn't need a scripture verse for everything. And also, what they will say is there are principles in the Bible that dictate how we live. There's no principle. There's not one principle in the Bible, in the entire Bible, that says you should do what this guy just said you should do. It ain't there.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
You're right.
He's just trying to kill fun, bro.
What this dude got against basketball?
Right, exactly. Like, yeah, can't play any basketball, can't go to the gym, can't play volleyball. It's like, good night. You can't go to Redbox. I mean,
Yep.
What are we supposed to do? Well, I guess there's only sex to be had.
I remember hearing something about they had certain times that people could go to the gym. Like girls could go at a certain time and then boys could go at a
He
different
did
time.
relate something about that because heaven forbid, huh?
Yeah. You can't have any mixed.
Kanan, do you remember the term mixed bathing?
But I actually heard that the other day.
I was talking with a buddy of mine the other day, and he kind of said what we'd all been thinking. He's like, that term always cracks me up. Mixed bathing. And they were talking about, men and women swimming together because, obviously that was a no-no too because the old boys apparently can't control themselves. And he's like, I'm just picturing some dude out there, just lathering up, just got him a scrub brush.
Like there's not bathing. Like I don't get
mixed bathing.
Unless they're meaning sunbathing. But then again, you're in the sun. You're not even in the water. So
yeah.
I actually heard this the other day. And this is actually in the Nazarene. So they're still pretty lenient, which thank the good Lord. But there was a person that's talking about it's like, this camp that they send their kids to, it's a church camp, but they have a swimming pool and they're allowed to have girls and boys are allowed to swim together. And this person was like, yeah, once my kid becomes of age and can go to the church camp, they're probably not going to go to that one because they allow the girls and the boys to swim together. And I immediately started thinking, like, what we all been talking about here tonight. I immediately started thinking, so you're not going to teach your boy at a young age self-control.
Right.
Or your girl self-control. At a teenage years when you'd be like, hey, just keep your eyes to yourself, man. Or just go and swim and be friends, but not look at them and then run to the nearest bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't
actually,
Yes.
Yeah. Self-control.
I don't know what it is about the CHM, but they love to view all women as a sexual object. No matter what, there is no, even and I say this very carefully, we're talking even some people like their own family members. They like to make their sisters as someone who is a sexual being.
Wasn't there for instance, and don't say the name, but where the guy wouldn't let his wife and daughters out of the bedroom unless they were fully dressed and in pantyhose?
And in pantyhose. Yes.
Holy moly.
Old boy's got a problem.
Yes. They have a problem.
Oh, yeah.
And instead, we're going back to that. We're removing our boys from an area where they can learn and practice self-control.
In situations like that, though, Miss, I almost feel weird in saying this is an area where you can learn. To me, it's just like, that's common horse freaking sense. What in the heck is wrong with that guy?
Yeah.
This is the CHM, Phil. They do not have common sense when it comes to practicing self-control. All they know is avoid it. Leave the situation completely. Remove it.
Yep.
You never, like you said, that muscle is atrophied. In order for you to strengthen something, you have to practice it and use it.
Yes.
Yep.
So if we're not going to do any of that stuff, that muscle is still going to remain atrophied.
Yeah. Think about it like this. Do they really want to look like that kind of a creep, going out and about? You know what I'm saying? Like just staring at everything that moves. Like to me, that'd be very embarrassing.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, just being very obvious and just like, dude, no,
Just like King
Go
David
about
in
your
the
day.
Bible. King David in the Bible. There was not seeing Bathsheba was not the problem. It was when he continued to watch her. Like looking at someone and being like, okay, that's a beautiful person. Looking away now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's when they
Moving
like
on.
continual, lusting and the
Yep. He lusted.
he continued
He let
to
it get
watch,
the best
and
of
that
him.
was the problem.
Guys, I think we've done it. I think
we did it.
I think we wore this horse out.
We did. We beat this horse to death.
Like different people have heard different clips, and if they come across the clip, send it to
Oh,
us.
please send
we'll
it over.
play it on here.
In fact, I think at some point we'll probably expand over into the Baptists have a treasure trove of clips.
And the
Oh,
Pentecostals. There's so
dude,
many people that
that'd be
have
fun.
problems.
Oh, dude, those
That would be
Baptists.
fun.
I sit and watch the Baptists and the Pentecostals, and I'm like, holy cow. You guys, like, yeah, we saw some dumb stuff. You guys were like on the, it was next level baloney.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Dude, that's hilarious.
Yay. I'm excited.
No, I love it. It's going to be fun.
Heck yeah. All right, I'm out, guys.
Me too.
We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.